I've been eating a lot, y'all, like a lot, and I thought that I could bring you into my indulgence and share with you my favorite places to get food from, especially during the quarantine. And so what I did is I wrote down a list of places that I've been to that I really enjoyed, that the service was good, the food was good, the quality, just the experience was amazing. And I came up with a list of, I think, 89 places, which is ridiculous to me, but don't worry, I'm not going to share all 89, but I will share with you my favorites all the way from fast food to fine dining. And so yeah, let's just jump right in. For fine dining, there are quite a number of options on the island, and of all the places I've been to for fine dining, my absolute favorite is the Cliff. And it's really convenient because I live very close to the Cliff, which is a good and bad thing, but I really enjoy their food, the ambience, the service. It's just absolutely amazing, and it's my favorite on the island for fine dining because they're also really consistent. Like, I haven't heard of any person who's been to the Cliff and had a bad experience, well, from my friends, and every single time I've been, I've just had a super high quality experience. Obviously it's fine dining, so the price range is a little high, but if that's the experience that you want, trust me, you will not be disappointed if you go to the Cliff. A special mention though is Lone Star. I went for the first time a couple of weeks ago, I think, and I actually really enjoyed everything about it, from the service, which was impeccable, to the food, to the options. It was superb. So if you don't give the Cliff a try, check out Lone Star. I love Mia Cafe. I love cafes because of the ambience and the options, and you just get to sit down, relax, maybe do some work and have some good food. And trust me, I've been to probably every single cafe on the island, but my absolute favorite, I have to say, is Senses Marché. I think that's how you pronounce it. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I also think that they're relatively new. But what I love about them is that they have a ton of options. The seating arrangements are amazing. There's also ice cream and healthy options, plant-based options, and the menu changes on, I think, on a daily basis. So, and the price is definitely worth going multiple times for the month, maybe even multiple times for the week. So they're my favorite cafe. So when it comes to street food is actually really big back home where I'm from, and it's also really big here. There are a ton of persons who sell food on the street, whether it's local food or international cuisine. But my ultimate favorite street food is street pasta. And what I love about street pasta is the service. Like, the chef, she is amazing, and I think you'll find that as a common theme when I'm talking about the places I've been. If the customer service is not good, I tend to don't have as good of an experience with the food, because I feel like the customer service, all that love is also poured into the food. So while you think it's just pasta and it's just, I think they only do like 4 or 5 options, but it's so good, and it's affordable, it's not quick. I think what you have to do is call them ahead of time to let them know that you're placing an order, so that when you show up, you could just pick it up like that. But my ultimate favorite street food is street pasta. So there are a ton of mid-range restaurants that you can get really good food, both local and international cuisine, for not very cheap but not very expensive. And the one that I pick for my favorite in this category is Salt. And the reason I pick them is because I think this restaurant I've been to the most of every other place on the island, and I really enjoy the setting, the food, the prices are great, the staff is great, the owners are very friendly. So I really love everything about Salt. It's a bit far from where I am because it's on the south coast, but I don't mind taking the drive because of the food, the options, the staff is very nice, and it's just a really great time whenever I go. So they're my favorite mid-range restaurant, and they also do a mix of what's local and what's international. So they're also a great option if you're looking for something very authentically Bajan, or if you're looking for something that's a bit more familiar if you're not from the island. So there are also a ton of bar slash restaurants. You know, the type where it's a bar but it's also a restaurant. And funnily enough, my favorite in this category is Little Bristol. And Little Bristol is, I think, in St. Peter, which is a little bit farther up the west coast. And I find that even though I don't go very often, I've been a couple times, the food is good, and sometimes they do live music. And I love any place that does live music. So Little Bristol is definitely my pick for favorite bar slash restaurant. But a special mention is Mojo's. Mojo's is extremely consistent. It's a great place to see people that you haven't seen in a really long time and catch up with friends and everything. So I really also like Mojo's. I think during quarantine, takeaway has been an essential service. I love takeaway because sometimes I just don't feel like cooking. I've had a really long day at work, and actually cooking for one can be a bit difficult because I don't know how to cook for one person. Because I come from a family of 5, I know how to cook for 5 people. So takeaway has been a godsend, and my favorite takeaway place is Maps Rotisserie Chicken, and I think I mentioned this in a video or 2 ago. And what I like about Maps is that they're consistent, they're quick, they're consistent, and they're affordable, and they're really close to where I am as well. So yeah, they're my favorite takeaway option. And also, I had a couple special mentions when it comes to takeaway food because like I mentioned, I do a lot of takeaway. I also really like Tamarind. They do rotis and local food, and they're located in Sky Mall. Okay, so my absolute favorite for mid-range cost, but it's local food. So on the menu, it's mostly Bajan food. My absolute favorite is Uncle Joe's. I love every single thing about Uncle Joe's. I actually think Uncle Joe's is my favorite restaurant on the entire island because not only is the service amazing, the menu is amazing, the vibes are amazing, it's by the beach, it's just such a cool place. You have karaoke, people singing, people liming, people enjoying themselves and having a great time. It's super far because it's in Bathsheba, but it's totally, completely just absolutely worth it. I do have some special mentions for mid-range local food. I also really love Juma's restaurant. I've been there a couple times. I like their Sunday buffet. I went for my birthday. That's how much I like it. If I go for my birthday, that means that's someplace that I could really know that I'm gonna get consistent good food. And so I really like them. And I also really like Brown Sugar. They're a buffet and they do local food, Bajan food. And I also really like them as well. Okay, 2 more categories. Next up are local franchises, and what I mean when I say that are some restaurants have multiple locations, and my absolute favorite local franchise, which is kind of ironic because of the name, is Jamaica 246. They do Jamaican cuisine. They have a couple locations, I think one in St. Thomas and then one on the south coast. But I love their food because it reminds me of Belizean food. It's very similar to Belizean food, and so I really like it. They can be not the cheapest food and the wait isn't the quickest, but I think it's still worth it, and they're my absolute favorite local franchise. A couple other special mentions are Rocke. Rocke, they do like Thai food and noodles and bowls. They have a location in Welch's in St. Thomas and Lanterns in Hastings on the south coast. So they're also really good, and I would definitely recommend checking them out. Hotel food. You'd actually not consider going to a hotel to eat, but there are actually quite a few hotels that have really good restaurants. And my favorite hotel restaurant is Coconut Court. They have really good service, they have really good food, they have really good ambience. They're pretty good prices as well, and they're a really great place if you want to do like family dining. I think they're a very great option. But a special mention is the Hilton. The Hilton does amazing buffets, really great breakfast. They also do really good food. So that would be my special mention. And that's it. Those are my favorite places to eat. Let me know if you want me to do more food recommendation videos. I can definitely do that. But what I will also do is I will leave in the description box a link to a couple food bloggers here in Barbados that do a really amazing job of explaining and showing you different pictures and different places and giving you recommendations and suggestions. And so yeah, I'm literally starving right now because of all of these places that I've been sharing with you. I hope you give them a try. Let me know what you think. And if you're living here on the island, leave in the comments below what your favorite restaurants are. And that's it from me. I'll see you in my next one.